What's up, superstars? Back with another video. You got Superstar Rob and you got Superstar Nation. How you guys doing? You guys beating me up every single day. If you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button. Join the Superstar fam. Hit the bell notification button to get every single video every single day. Also, to our Superstar VIPs, $2.99 a month. Get the star beside your name, master our spreadsheets, giveaways. You can always reach out to us on X, Instagram, or Discord. Our Discord's popping, guys. Make sure you join our Discord. It is the rest of Superstar Nation. We got all your favorite projects. Make sure you guys check it out because if you know what, you can not only just talk to us at any point in the day, you can also talk to the rest of Superstar Nation. And together, we do an amazing job sharing ideas and basically just growing the space. So today, I'm actually going to talk about a video that I saw from our good friend, Sleepin Comics. Now, Sleepin is a really good friend of the channel, really amazing guy, does amazing stuff for the community with his website that he runs. He was the one that really educated us on many things related to like the value of physical comics, where he would rank them, A, B, C, D. So Sleepin is a legend within the community. And he decided to do a video saying, is Veve MCP worth it? So really, I mean, it's pretty much a spin on saying you should just spend your MCP points. And we only have only one good data sample right now. So I watched his video. I got involved in the comments and people were questioning the math because he pretty much said, okay, we're going to use the Tokidoki Year of the Dragon as a measure of whether you should use this or not. So on this drop here in particular, you had the Lucky Rosso, which had 1,088 mints, in which 90 were going to be held back by Veve. It's an ultra rare, and it was listed at a price of 20. And then you had the gold, which was a listed price of 20, and it had 88 editions, in which Veve would hold 8 back. So he used this drop as a measure to say, okay, is this the one? If every drop goes like this, if this stays constant, should you use your MCP points? And if you remember, on this drop, it was the first time we were allowed to use the MCP priority bidding. So the priority bidding, you're allowed to stake. You don't know what the other bidders are doing, but you're allowed to stake a certain number of your MCP points up to your maximum limit. And if you are on average let's say on this drop, I think it was 40% of the drop was reserved for MCP priority bidding. It might have been the reverse 60 or 40, but whatever it is, if you were ranked one of the higher people on the list, then you were allowed to automatically go for this drop. And in the end, it was an average of around 40,000 MCP points to go for this drop. I think that's a bit inflated just because of the, the scarcity of the secret rare probably drew people in. But I think also because it was the first one they did, people just love firsts on Veve, so they just would be willing to spend maybe some more MCP points for that than normally would on other drops. So currently, the market is open. The drop happened, sold out. Sold out. You have the Lucky Rosso selling for 14 gems right now in the aftermarket. And then you have the Lucky Rosso Gold selling for 600 gems pretty much in the aftermarket. So if you were one of the lucky ones that hit the 80, you did very well for yourself because you were able to flip your 20 gems into 600 gems just like that. So then the question is, should you be spending your MCP points when these opportunities come up? And Sleepin was arguing that every year you're going to get about 6. He wasn't really sure on the exact number, but he thought maybe 6 opportunities like this, where you're going to get a low listed price and you're going to have a chase item with a very high resale value. And you might as well go for them because at a 10% chance, which is the one that he assumed, you would be able to, in that 6, have around a 46% chance, if you use binomial probability, of at least hitting one of them, which you could then sell and make a profit. And if you didn't, well, if you spent 20 gems and you resold it for 14 gems, you're only taking a loss of 6. So if you do 6 times the 5 or 6 times that you go for it, you're only spending 30 gems on top. You're only going to end up with a spending 30 gems because you're going to resell whatever of the lower chase items, or like, for example, this one, the ultra rare was only 14 gems. You're going to resell that and recover that. And then your deficit's only going to be 30 gems. So he said you might as well go for it because you're barely spending any gems. And you have at least you have a chance of getting like a big ticket item. So long story short, if you guys are wondering, should you be going for this stuff, we do have a spreadsheet which does that exact thing. Okay. It's called binomial distribution. And like, you could literally see like this specific drop did not actually have a 10% chance because they held back 90 and held back 8. They actually had a 7.42% chance of hitting the secret rare. That was your odds. So if you go into this, you can just Google binomial distribution calculator, and you can say, okay, well, you do the math quickly on the min sizes, 7.4%. You want to go 5 trials. I mean, in Sleepin's case, he did 6, but it doesn't matter. Let's just say 5. I want to know the numbers of successes, which I hit at least one of that 7.4. And then you could use the cumulative here because this is at least in those 5 trials in the year, you would get 1 or more. So you're around a 32% chance. And it's not by accident that my spreadsheet here matches 32% on the 5th trial, because my spreadsheet is doing the same thing as binomial distribution. It's just a little bit more complicated because I'm already embedding in this idea of, profit loss, right? Like I'm already embedding in profit loss. So that's why it's just a little bit more complex. But the overall probability that you will be profitable on 5 tries, and there's a 32% chance that you will be profitable, that's constant. Okay. And guys, I know this is hard to understand because many of you are saying, well, actually, every single time you go for it, you have a 7.4% chance. And that is true. But when you string them together, it is not true that you just have a 7.4% chance. Think about it like this. If you flip a coin 100 times, do you think you have a 50% chance that you're going to just get, 50 heads, for example? No. If you're aiming to get a head, if your target's to get at least 1 head and you flip a coin 100 times, I mean, why am I even doing this? I'm just going to show you guys. Don't take my word for it. You have a 50% chance right here of getting a head. You're going to flip a coin 100 times. The chance of getting it at least 1 time it's pretty much 100%. Literally, it's pretty much 100% that you're going to get it at least 1 time. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to convey to you, because a lot of people argued this spreadsheet when it first came out saying, well, this isn't valid because it's always 7.4. No, it's set. When you string it and you already say, I'm going to go for it 5 times, I'm going to have this probability 5 times, you actually do have better odds of eventually hitting something to win. But each time that you go for it, each individual independent time, it is 7.4. So this is kind of like planning in advance. So let's get back to it. So yeah, like according to my spreadsheet right here, I'm going to just zoom in now so you guys can see a little bit more. Okay. In the end, 32% chance, and you're only spending 100 gems. So someone could, and someone could easily argue like, yeah, you might as well just go for these draws because there's such low risk and there's such a high reward. But here's the issue about using your MCP points. You would have to spend 40,000 of them every single time. That means if you went for all 5 of these, you would spend 200,000 MCP points. Some of you watching may not even have 200,000 MCP points. So it really depends if you're an MCP whale or not. If you don't have a lot of MCP points, and I'm like a diamond 1, and I think I get like 250 points a day, right? So it's not easy to just save up 40,000 MCP points to then go and just drop it anywhere you want. So you cannot just strictly say, yeah, I'm going to spend my 200,000, because you have to keep in mind that you don't know when Veve is going to drop something else with even better odds, and maybe you're going to need even more MCP points for something you actually really want. Like, think about it. You spent your MCP points to give yourself, in this case, a 7.2% chance on this specific drop in order to get a 600 return. Like, that is not a winning bet. And then you would have to go for this over and over and over again. And you have no idea if the next one will even be 40,000. Like, even doing this math has assumptions embedded into it like crazy. We're assuming that you're going to use 40,000 MCP points. We're assuming it's always going to be a 7.2% chance. We're assuming you're going to be able to even flip it for 600. We're assuming the list of price is going to be 20 next time. It might be 40 with a resale of 14. There's so many assumptions that I think when you actually consider the risk of this assumption that all year long I'm going to have a chance at exactly a $20 listed price, 7.2% chance at 600 to get these returns, and I'm going to spend exactly 40,000 MCP, I think that that's a very unlikely scenario, and that you're better off saving your MCP points for a higher probability situation. There's already the wait list, so you have a chance there. And I mean, let's say you're dropping MCP points and you know you're going to make 600 gems, and there's like a 100% chance that if you get it, then you're going to be able to flip it. So there's none of this like you might get the ultra rare at 7%. Like it's 100%. You're going to get something over the listed price that's worth a lot more than the listed price. Then I would say it would be worth spending the MCP points, because there's opportunity loss here that once you spend them, it might take you a long time to save them back up to reuse them again. If you're a whale, you don't care. To you, 40,000 might be like my 2,000. Then why not, right? You'll make it back in, let's say, a few weeks. I don't know, whatever your collection is. But yeah, like I think on this one here, this was not a drop that I think would have been worth going for. I think that this drop, you were better off being on the wait list. You're not better off spending your MCP points. It's probably going to be rare when you could spend your MCP points. And when those opportunities come, if this was 40,000 with such low odds, we will see what it will be for something with good odds, where if you actually win it, you'll probably be able to flip it for a very high multiple to your listed price. So again, I thank Sleepin for his conversation. He made all of us really think about MCP points. He has a decent argument, I think, for those that have a lot of MCP points, but I think the majority of people don't have that many, especially at 40,000 a pop. And I think it'd be very wise to hold on to your MCP points for a drop that you may actually want to keep and collect, let's say, or for the other 99% of you, go for them only on the ones that you know that you will actually have either a guaranteed chance to flip for a profit or better odds than, let's say, 7%. Because even if you said, okay, well, I'll go for it this time and 5 more consecutive times when I'm 7% every single time, and in the end, I'm going to have a 32% chance of maybe getting spending and spending 200,000 MCP points. Well, to me, that's not a good bet. You're probably going to lose. You're assuming things that are probably not going to even be constant, right? It's just not worth it at 32% to spend 200,000 MCP points to make 600 when the odds aren't even over 50. Like at least maybe if you have, let's say, a 50% chance, then, just like before flipping a coin, you may actually have, you may have a decent chance at least getting something. At least it's a 50-50. But even then I would think twice about it, because the moment you blow your MCP points, who knows when you're going to really need them for something else. So you guys let me know what you think about today's video. Do you believe that you should be using your MCP points on drops, just like the Tokidoki, where the 20 listed price, you have a 7.4% chance of getting a secret rare, which is worth like 600. If you don't get it, you're going to get something that's worth 14. So you're going to basically just lose $6. Is it worth spending those MCP points? My answer is that it is not. You're better off saving your MCP points. Go on the wait list. The wait list is there anyways. It's the same thing, right? It's pretty much the same thing. Why even spend any points when you can get on the wait list without spending any points? And you could save those points for a time you actually need something that you actually want to get, or it's something that you know is scarce, and you're going to be able to flip it for the same multiple as this. So you guys can let me know in your comments below. What is your verdict? And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, hit the bell notification button to get every single video every single day. Also, do our VIPs, $200 a month, start beside your name, master spreadsheets, giveaways. Guys, thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you next one. Bye-bye.